A new deal for dairy farmers who've been protesting at the price they're paid for their milk. There was good news for dairy farmers in the southwest today with the confirmation of a new agreement between themselves and milk processors. The deal was announced by the now former Agriculture Minister Jim Pace at a livestock conference in Birmingham today. The voluntary code of practice will mean farmers get more flexible contracts and be given a chance to find better deals elsewhere. Dairies will now have to explain how they've arrived at the price that they're paying farmers, and farmers will be able to exit milk contracts with 3 months' notice if prices are changed against their will.
Well, we can speak to Ian Johnson from the National Farmers Union. Mr. Johnson, is this code proof the protests worked?
Well, certainly something had to be done, and that was a phenomenal response we got from farmers, and it showed the depth of their frustration and their anger, and I think everybody was taken by surprise by that, and I think that people were just burying their heads in the sand and pretending that we didn't have a crisis, and that brought it home to them loud and clear.
So does the hostility end here? Do you think the code will create a lasting peace between farmers and processors?
Well, what it's done is open the windows and let a breath of fresh air through, because the problem we had was there were all these cobwebs and obscurity and no transparency, and nobody knew, what sort of contract they had or what it was worth. In fact, in most cases, not worth the paper it was written on. So we just need a system that is open, honest, fair and transparent. And actually, we're not trying to tell processors or anybody else how to run their businesses, but what we're saying at the end of the day is there's going to be a huge global demand for dairy produce, but if we're not careful, there wouldn't have been any British dairy farmers left to fulfil it, because we've lost 50% of them in the last 10 years.
Under the code, farmers will be given more warning and information about price cuts, but regardless of that, and no matter how many short-term price concessions there are, the government still won't set prices. The market will remain tough, won't it?
Well, the government can't set prices, and yes, it will be tough, but it's got to be fair and it's got to be transparent, and farmers, if they don't like what's going on, need to have the opportunity to blow the whistle, and that's what this will pave the way for.
One man that's been heavily involved in brokering this agreement is Jim Pace, but he's lost his job as farming minister in the reshuffle. How easy do you think it will be for his replacement to maintain and build those delicate relationships?
Well, it's a tough brief, and Jim Pace has done a good job in a very tough climate, and I think David Heath, who's a Somerset man, Somerton MP, will be a very good and able replacement, and we look forward to working with him, and I'm sure actually has very good relationships already within the South West.
OK, Ian Johnson from the NFU, thank you.